The purpose of this podcast is just a rant about the stuff that we like. So, if that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, this show probably isn't for you. This podcast is recorded on Gadigal and Bidjigal land, and also contains a fair amount of explicit language. We are Australian after all.
If I let you in on this, you've got to promise to keep it on the down low. The less people know about this, the better.
Yeah, call it lazy, I just create what is in my mind. I use the same breaks in my beats sometimes. Wanna decorate my office, so I bought some fake lavenders and speakers, but Mankaiju on the highway to Los Angeles. Never try to hide you from my life if you can handle it. You know I try to find you in the dark, which is the candlestick. The flowers of my heart always encase of metal shackles. When I look into your eyes, you're like Wonderland and Alice.
Shit, if we can avoid incendiary incidents in real life, then we never have to do anything ever again.
How does that work in the real world?
Hello everyone.
Hi guys.
Welcome back to Stuff We're Excited About. It's a podcast
About
stuff we're excited about.
Who would have known? Who would have guessed?
It's kind of in the title.
Yeah.
So most people, I would imagine. Anyway, my name's Finley,
I'm Cloud.
and this week, we got a doozy for you. I can see the future. I got new superpowers over the weekend.
What's the future?
I got new superpowers over the weekend, and now I'm a clairvoyant, and I can see the future. And this one's a real doozy.
Oh. Why?
Oh no, it's no reason. It's just It's just gonna be a good one.
Oh, okay. Alright. On a note from last week, we both have actually held on to our promises and watched the show
Yes!
that the other recommended. Yes!
Yes.
Now, I will say, I only watched the first 2 episodes because it was very late, but I did watch them, and I am gonna watch more because it's pretty funny.
Same. I only watched the first 2 episodes of Gangster. I will be honest.
Perfect.
I mean, okay, so you said you were going to watch more. Unfortunately, I don't think I will watch more.
That's fair enough, honestly. It's not for everyone.
It's so different from anything I have watched or that I would normally watch. Like, I normally watch, like, slice of life stuff or, like, fantasy or, like, sci-fi. The sort of mafia, Yakuza type stuff is not really my speed, to be honest. I mean, yes, I fully accept that it is good, and it was entertaining. It's a bit full on, and I don't think I will continue with it.
I will say, it is like, yeah, I'm not really surprised by that, because you don't watch a lot of... Well, it's not action, but it is quite dark in some aspects. Like, there are some pretty mature themes, and it's not, like, meant for kids or anything. Like, there's stuff about, like, gangs and, like, there's prostitution and things like that. But it is kind of a really funny contrast to Nichijou. Just, like,
yes,
oh, God.
Yeah.
And I do watch... Well, I don't really watch that many slice of life. I think the closest I've got is, Free, the swimming one, where it's like kind of like slice of life, where it's a bit more like domestic. That's the closest I get, but nothing like this level. Or I don't know if Mob Psycho counts. Mob Psycho's like half slice of life, half like not really. It's in like the same ballpark.
I haven't actually seen Mob Psycho.
It's pretty good. I think
I've been
you'd like
intending
it.
to watch it.
Yeah.
I just haven't like got around to it. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, I remember I was watching it and I told you the second episode is...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My Ordinary Life by the Living Tombstone. I didn't know that.
The first scene in the second episode of Nichijou is where they're playing the word game on the stairs. And Yuko... The first line in the episode is... Yuko says, "Alright, let's go. Scissors, paper, rock, shoot." And in that sample, that piece of dialogue has been sampled, the Japanese version, in the song My Ordinary Life by The Living Tombstone, which is, it's a pretty good song.
I like the song, yeah.
That Also, I mean, like, that entire song is backed by a track from the Nichijou soundtrack.
From the rest
I don't know
of
if
it.
I don't know if you have like got far enough into the show to have heard that
No, it was in the episode.
The soundtrack?
It was in the episode.
Right, okay.
Okay. Like the
Yes.
Yeah, that one. It's
That
in
one.
it's in the second episode, about halfway through-ish. Something like that.
Yeah. What? I don't remember what happens in the second episode. What was your favorite? What was your favorite bit? What was your favorite scene sequence?
So the principal's walking outside, and one of the other teachers drops the little straw doll on the floor.
Yes,
and then
yeah,
and then he opens it, and he just goes, oh, or like something like that. It's really funny.
So
I love that bit.
See, this is where it really kind of helps if you have some amount of knowledge about like Japanese culture when watching this show, because it actually, I mean, it has quite a lot of quite deep cultural references in the comedy. First off, the teacher that dropped it is the vice principal.
Right.
And it's not made very clear in the show. It's much clearer in the manga. But the vice principal used to be the principal, but he was demoted, and the new principal was hired, and so they have this rivalry.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the vice principal is always trying to sort of like slight the principal. But that straw doll is, I mean, this is not a terribly obscure piece of knowledge because it's used in like Jujutsu Kaisen, so a lot more people know about it. But straw dolls are used to like curse people.
Yeah.
In Japanese culture.
Kind of like
fermented soybeans.
Oh.
Fermented soybeans are traditionally stored in straw, in dried straw. They are wrapped in dried straw.
Right.
So the whole point of the joke is that the vice principal drops this doll, and the principal sees it, and he's like, "Oh fuck! The vice principal's trying to curse me." But then he opens it. But then the vice principal says, "Oh, look inside," and it's just fermented soybeans. He's just using a straw doll to carry around fermented soybeans.
The principal's reaction to that was literally the funniest part of the whole episode. I don't even remember how he says it or like how he does it, but it's just, oh my god, I gotta find it. Hold on, I gotta find this thing. It's the funniest thing.
Favorite. You're not up to it yet, but my favorite ever scene, my all-time favorite scene in Nichijou is in episode 6, which also involves the principal, and I am very excited for you to get to that, because it is quite possibly the funniest scene in, like, anything ever. Man, that show is so fucking good. But yeah, I really hope you continue with Nichijou, because it is very funny.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I apologize that I won't be continuing with Gangster, but like I fully admit that it is a good show. It's just not really my thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it is a cool concept. I would have one thing that I would have appreciated is if they like outright confirmed which country the city is in.
It's really confusing. Like,
it's very ambiguous.
It is. I never really was able to tell.
Because, like, I mean, the characters seem American,
but they're not
also
really.
They, like, most of them have, like, Italian-ish names.
Yeah, and like,
but then the architecture is really strange. I
can't tell by the architecture. I always like, I can't even. Would you even be able to say that it's on Earth? It could be like on some parallel Earth that like has different countries and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know when
Yeah,
it's
I
set.
mean,
I can't tell when.
well, they have phones, don't they?
Yeah, but then, like...
Actually, don't remember.
Do they? Oh, I think they do. They've got, like, at least, like, telephones, like landline telephones, which
Yeah.
doesn't tell us everything, honestly.
Yeah. It could be anywhere from, like, the 1910s to fucking the modern day.
Yeah.
It's very ambiguous with its setting, and I would have appreciated a little more sort of concrete info on that. I feel like that would have drawn me in a little bit more, and I would have been more likely to continue with it. But
Yeah.
you know, I fully admit that yes, it is a good show, and if I were a different person and I had different tastes, then I would continue with it. But it's just a bit intense for me as well.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think I kind of enjoy that because I do like the kind of nitty-gritty part of it. I do like shows like that, so it's probably just like a me thing that I enjoy it.
Yeah. Next up, I would like to briefly touch on some stuff that's been going on in Fortnite lately.
Okay.
Just this past week, we had a live event where people, all of the players of the Fortnite universe came together, and Dr. Doom, who is sort of like the villain of this season, he got really big. He just got very large, and then we all had to shoot at him and take him down.
Oh.
It was a little bit anticlimactic.
Okay.
But that is not, I mean, it's not the only live event that is scheduled for this season.
Right.
The next one is, obviously, there's going to be one at the end of the season because it's the end of the chapter as well. Like, we'll be transitioning into the next OG season, which will be Chapter 2. Like, revisiting the Chapter 2 map. But I think the main reason why they just wanted to get Doom out of the picture before sort of like the middle of the season, or around the middle of the season, is because the event pass, and they pretty much always will have an event pass in the second half of the season, is going to be the Fantastic Four. I'm willing to bet quite a lot of money on it that it will be the Fantastic Four.
Right.
And the main reason for that is, I mean, at the beginning of the season, they revealed, I mean, when they added, like, Doom's castle and stuff to the map, his throne is made out of the Thing.
What?
He has Reed Richards in a glass case screwed up into a little ball. He has supposedly Sue Storm in a glass case, but it's just like, it's just a chair, just an empty chair.
Oh.
The only one that's sort of missing in action is Johnny. We don't know where he is or whether Doom has captured him, but, like, as it stands, the Fantastic Four are now free to be sort of, like, you know, rescued. Because Doom's out of the picture. So I think it makes sense that they will then be introduced as skins in an event pass, la-di-da-di-da. You know, it's corporate marketing.
Yeah, right.
I often feel quite sort of self-conscious when I'm talking about this thing with such enthusiasm, because I realize, it's all just corporate marketing and cross-promotion and stuff. Like, people are making money off this, but I guess that's the case with any entertainment, so you have to sort of... Yeah,
there's not much you can do.
Set aside a bit of that attitude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my piece.
Fair enough. I just keep seeing stuff about Sebastian Stan because I feel like he's like having his return to like with
resurgence.
His resurgence with, is it The Apprentice?
With The
where
Apprentice.
He plays Trump, and then also of course with Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
He's had like a bunch of new interviews. He's got like a bunch of new photo shoots and stuff, and so I'm just seeing like stuff about him like all over my feed, and I'm really not complaining, but it's interesting that he's back, which is really cool.
Speaking of Marvel, also, we got our first set photos from the Spider-Man Noir TV show.
We did? When?
Yeah.
What?
Just this past week. You can find them pretty easily just by looking up Spider-Man Noir set photos. I think they probably would just come up for anyone listening who wants to take a look at those.
Oh my god, I need to see these.
It's man, it looks interesting for sure.
It's just a picture
sort
of
of like
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, alt text for anyone who can't be bothered to like look up these photos. It's basically just Nicolas Cage photographed from a distance, sitting and crouching, wearing a black trench coat and like a fedora and like a grey suit.
That's about it. Yeah.
It's about it. It's pretty much just Nicolas Cage.
Fair enough.
But yeah, fair enough that Nicolas Cage is playing Spider-Man Noir in live action in a TV show.
Because he voices him in the movies, so
yeah, in Spider-Verse.
It only makes sense.
I really, really, really hope that it is either being shot in black and white or it will be black and white. I just feel like it would kind of ruin the whole aesthetic if it's not black and white, you know?
True. That would be really cool, yeah.
I mean, I know it's kind of a long shot. I really hope it's being shot on black and white film.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I mean, most of these things are shot digitally, but like, imagine how cool it would be if it was being shot on black and white film in I mean, 4:3.
It would be. It's a really difficult thing to get right, though.
Yeah, I mean, so like one of the main things that you have to consider when shooting in black and white is costumes and makeup, because a lot of things will like show up.
Look
differently, or because you've only got the values for contrast, so you have to kind of exaggerate the values a bit if you want things to look right. But yeah, I really hope. Man, I really, really hope it's in black and white.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Another thing about...
Oh, yeah.
Wait, another movie. The new Joker movie. I haven't heard good things. I haven't heard good things at all.
No, nor have I.
Oh.
It's apparently really quite bad. What I've heard is that it's incredibly divisive. It's like, I mean, some people love it because it's like an analysis of the previous one and like kind of calling out the fans of the first film, but also it's just like, I've heard that it's just boring. I haven't seen it. I don't really plan on going to see it. Apparently it's just not very interesting.
Huh.
It's like a court procedural.
Is that it?
And a jukebox musical that is ashamed to be a musical. It's just apparently not very entertaining at all.
Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. I was honestly looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to it because I enjoyed the first one, and
the first one was good. Yeah.
I liked the first one, but I don't know. I'm kind of sad now. I'm sad that it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. I mean,
it's certainly disappointing.
Yeah, I'll still watch it, but I'm not going to go in there with very high hopes, I guess.
I don't think I will, to be honest. It's just time and money for something that, by all accounts, is kind of a waste of those two things.
I mean, no, I'll watch it when it's free. Like, I'm not gonna, or like when it comes out on like streaming services or whatever. But I'm not gonna pay to watch that in cinema. No.
Yeah. Do you know what I will? Okay, 2 films that I will pay to see. One of which actually came out like however many years ago, 7 years ago.
Yes.
I really want to talk about. First up, The Wild Robot, DreamWorks' new film.
Oh,
I don't remember whether we talked about it last week.
I think you mentioned it.
It looks really good. Everybody says it looks really good. I still haven't had the chance to go and see it. I'm probably going to go and see it this weekend.
Okay.
Probably this Saturday. You should come with me.
I'll have a look.
Then this Sunday, I am attending a showing of a film, and it is quite possibly the most excited that I've ever been to see a film that I've already seen a number of times, and that is because I am going to see Into the Spider-Verse accompanied by a live orchestra at the Opera House.
I remember, I'm fairly certain I mentioned this, but I watched that, but with Singing in the Rain. It's amazing. It's really good. It's great. It's like it's a really good experience.
The only time I've done something like this before was with I can never fucking remember what that film's called. THX something. It's an early George Lucas film from before he made Star Wars. It's already incomprehensible, but the orchestra was so loud that we couldn't hear any of the dialogue. So I have no idea what happens in that film, but the music's pretty good.
Oh. I mean, like, there's sometimes I forget that people actually, like, made music for the film, and so I feel like stuff like that actually helps me to appreciate it.
Yeah. It puts a spotlight on it in a way that, like, it doesn't often happen, because film music, I mean, especially in the modern day, film music certainly is underappreciated.
Yeah. Back
in, like, the golden era of film and in, like, the late 20th century, not so much, but, like, in the modern era, film scores are 100% underappreciated in their value, what they contribute to storytelling. I'm just also really excited to see Daniel Pemberton, doing his thing up there live.
I'm
conducting.
Not familiar with this Daniel who?
Daniel Pemberton. He did the soundtrack.
Oh, wait, is he actually, like, going to be there conducting?
Yeah, he's conducting it.
And he made the soundtrack.
Yeah,
that's really cool. They actually got
He will also be probably DJing as well, because, like, there's a lot of tracks in there that are very electronic and so require like scratching and stuff to be done live.
Because for Singing in the Rain, that's not. I didn't actually think about that because it's like 100 years. It's not 100 years old, but it's old. I didn't think about having, like, the people that made it actually be there, which is really cool. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really bad for him because he did the soundtrack for Concord, the video game.
Concord.
The fact that you've never heard of it speaks volumes. It's like a class-based arena shooter that Sony made that came out just earlier this year. It was online for a grand total of 2 weeks.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It sold under 1,000 copies.
Oh. I honestly...
Sony made zero return on investment because they had to refund all of the copies.
If a movie or a video game ever fails, like it doesn't do well, I always feel bad for the people working on it, because 90% of the time it's not their fault. They're just doing a job, and it honestly makes me so sad that they put all of this work in and then it just doesn't, like, go well.
Daniel Pemberton, man, like, kind of a storied filmography for his composing. He did the soundtrack for, like, Little Big Planet and Peep Show and Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars.
Wow.
The video game. He did what else? He's done Black Mirror.
Like he's done a lot of things. You
know that film Yesterday? The film where the Beatles never existed?
Oh yeah, that one, yeah.
He also did The Bad Guys and Slow Horses, and he's done a ton of stuff, and all of his work is really, really great. Shout out to you, Daniel Pemberton. I'm excited to see you conducting live on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we will have to move our recording slot on Sunday because we usually record on 4 o'clock on Sundays.
Yeah,
and
so
I
we'll
will
have
be
to move it.
at the Opera House.
That's fine. I actually don't know what else to talk about, and I already have an Am I the Arsehole up.
If you don't have anything else to talk about, I would like to mention very briefly
Yeah?
that I don't know why it took so long, but I have now started getting into the band They Might Be Giants.
Okay.
Man, those guys slap. They make some fucking tunes, and I feel like I got into them at exactly the wrong time, because they played at the Enmore Theatre like 2 nights ago, and so they will not be back in Australia for a while. Hey, at least they're still together.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, I was thinking about their style. They are essentially, basically just Tally Hall, but for Gen X.
Oh.
Like, the style is, I mean, you can tell just how much Tally Hall was inspired by them.
Right,
how much they
right.
influenced them.
Right.
But man, yeah, they make some good fucking music. I
I'll
just
have
want to
to-
shout out some of my favorite of their songs. Kiss Me, Son of God is really good. Obviously, Birdhouse in Your Soul, which is their most famous track. Istanbul, Not Constantinople. Dr. Worm, White as the Sunshine. Whistling in the Dark is really good. Someone Keeps Moving My Chair is funny.
What?
They make some damn good music.
With some weird
It's
names.
like, I mean, it's basically joke music. Like,
Right,
it has
okay.
joke lyrics, but it's genuinely good music.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
hit me with that. Am I the asshole?
All right. Am I the asshole for ruining a child's life? Today, I started talking to an American mother while in A&E. Her child was interested in the artwork I have on my leather jacket, as it's pretty colorful. The mother mentioned her daughter's name was Grain, so I assumed for a while that she was a mother who wanted something, quote, special to call her child. I remarked that it was a unique name and that I never met anyone called Grain before. She told me that she named her daughter after her great-grandmother and that it's an Irish name. At this point, the alarm bells are ringing in my head because I've realized that this kid is called, I don't actually want to pronounce this because it's the Irish pronunciation, but I'm going to try, Gronya. Gronya? Gronyyuh is what they've spelled as how it's pronounced. Generally pronounced Gronya or thereabouts, that's what they say. I tried to be very tactful and I was like, Irish is such an interesting alphabet. How is her name spelled? Irish names can be tricky. This kid is called, I'm going to spell it, Gra with a, not an apostrophe, like a little thing on the top.
A circle?
INNE. No, like a little dash.
A little dash. Oh.
What are those called?
Okay.
GRA
I have no idea.
with a little dash, INNE, not grain. My partner, who has studied Ireland's political history as part of their dissertation, and also the Irish diaspora and its culture around the university, city is stuck somewhere. What? And its culture around the university, city is stuck somewhere between stifling a laugh and dying of embarrassment on her behalf. So I come up with what I thought was a very positive reply. I said, an old school name and a more modern pronunciation. I think that's a great way to pick names. I would like to point out that I do not like the name Grain for a child, nor do I like the way the pronunciation was butchered. I was trying to be tactful and positive. She asked what I meant, and I said, well, in Ireland they typically pronounce it, quote, Gronya. Her face went red, and she said I shouldn't have said that pronunciation was wrong in front of her kid, because now she's going to grow up knowing that her name is wrong and feel bad about it. I apologized for causing her offense and restated that it's a lovely name in both ways and a fantastic nod to her heritage. I'm sure her
Right.
great-grandmother would be thrilled to be honored by her name being used. I was throwing out just about every positive reinforcement that I could think of, but to be frank, she was pissed off. She told me that I, quote, ruined her daughter's self-esteem, and that her life was ruined by me saying that her existence is wrong. I didn't say that, by the way. I said her name was pronounced atypically. Groinia, spelled how it would be in Irish, I assume, for context, was around 2 years old and completely unbothered by the conversation until her mother got angry with me. She was just looking at the pictures of my jacket. The conversation was maybe 5 minutes long, but I managed to ruin this kid's life. Hindsight says I should have kept my mouth shut and waited for someone else in the city to say something. They're in the UK, with lots of Irish people.
Ay. This is it's an issue
that happens often, especially with
It happens
Americans.
more often
I say.
than it should.
Yeah,
it happens far more often than it should.
unfortunately. Okay, first I'm gonna say I don't think this person's the asshole because the child is 2.
No,
How-
absolutely
how
not
is
the asshole.
Child gonna know that it's 2 years old. It's not gonna listen to what you're saying.
It was a grave overreaction from the mother.
Yes.
I mean, why not just do a bit more research before naming your child?
It's not hard to do research on names. Like, I get that you wanted to do it, your great-grandmother's name, but at least search up how it's actually pronounced. Because I have read so many stories of people growing up realizing that their name was being pronounced wrong the entire time because their parent didn't actually research how it's actually said. This is very common with like Irish or Gaelic names and things that have an atypical pronunciation and spelling.
Yeah.
And
I feel like this one's an easy slam
is
dunk.
easy.
It's just no. Not the asshole, of course not. You pointed out something that was wrong.
Yeah.
It's and I mean, by the sounds of it, they were trying to compensate greatly to not hurt this woman's feelings, and she still decided to take great offense in it, which is
it's
just
I can't believe it.
What a mess.
Anyway, I think we've decided not the arsehole, it's the mother's fault. Of course, an American mother.
Of course not.
And I know I'm saying that kind of harshly, but
Americans are just bad at pronouncing
Americans
stuff, and that's okay.
They just don't do research into. They're like, oh, I'm Irish, and it turns out like one great-great-grandparent was Irish.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next week. Thank you to 2K Doppler for the use of our theme song. I just completely mentally blanked on what the title is. Breeze off the album Brooks Brained Up. I can't believe...
You say it every week.
I did that. I say it every week. I know I should know it off by heart, but thank you to 2K Doppler for the use of our theme song, Breeze off the album Brooks Brained Up. It's a really great album.
Yeah.
Really great song. Go check it out. I believe that is the end of the show.
And we'll see
Correct
everyone
me if I'm wrong.
next week. Ooh.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
I'm not gonna wait
We
this
can
time.
avoid incendiary incidents in real life, and we never have to do anything ever again.
How does that work in the real world?